I am doing. How are you?
I'm chilling.
That's cool. So remind me what's going on? Why these
Alright,
VODs?
so I got two VODs to burn for you. One where I get solo killed by Viktor in the most disgusting way imaginable, and I don't want to talk about it, but like I need to talk about it. It's like bad. I don't know if it comes from laning or the fact I don't take biscuits, which I should probably take in the matchup because it's hard. But I'm like,
It is a tough
I'm trying to
matchup for sure, but
squeeze.
I don't
I'm
think
trying to
biscuits is your
squeeze not
problem.
taking biscuits. No. I live with biscuits. Just trust me.
Okay.
Okay, it's like so disgusting. And then in another game, it's like I'm just tired of losing to Vladimir since I feel like this champion is useless. But like my initial learning was just like respecting Hecarim and gank threat, and it's not actually about Vladimir. But I feel like I don't play the lane that well. I don't know.
What do you want to start
I don't
with?
know what this fucking champ does. Let's start with the Viktor lane since the takeaway is probably gonna do that, but we'll see. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, it's like both lanes are like first lane. Obviously, it's just like landing stuff. It's not mid game.
Okay. Okay. This is just sad. I mean, we run here is okay. So if you're gonna walk in there, you need to walk in there immediately. You can't dilly dally in the
You're
mid
not
lane.
streaming.
I'm not. Oh my god, I'm trolling. Hold on.
I don't burn flash and I get mana flow, so like worth.
No, it's
But yeah,
not.
I need to watch it earlier.
So like if we're gonna walk into that bush, we have to walk there immediately. And
Yeah,
this
see,
is a
my thought was,
matchup.
oh,
It's a
yeah,
matchup
yeah,
where
yeah.
Viktor is going to like probably try and bully you. Now we are Taliyah, so we should be able to get shoved, but I'm not super familiar with Taliyah and Viktor. I know it from the Viktor side.
Level one, it's really hard.
Yeah, so if we can't
It's
get
like if you're
shoved,
better than him, you can, but you have to like perma tether Q2, and
right.
like
So if we're going for
that.
that level 1 ward, we need to walk to that bush immediately so we don't get scammed.
Yeah, no, I thought Caitlyn would have spawned Pantheon if he was in that bush. It's like, yeah, it's for sure a mistake.
Yeah, it's just not something we can rely upon either way. So we need to auto attack this one a little bit faster because we want them to die at the same time as this one. So we're matching the same thing because we don't kill it at the same time that he's doing that one, so it gets a Q off on us.
Yeah.
Right. That's fine. He has to last hit, so we can get that one. He has to. I really would have wanted us to either throw an ability on him or like be auto attacking the wave because every time he auto attacks, he has a cooldown, right? Quote unquote. So we want to be matching auto attacks with him as much as possible so that we can actually get these minions without getting harassed. Because see, he's got this massive trading window right now, and if back here we would have actually just hit these minions a little bit, we would have been able to not give
I
him
should
that
have done
trading
the
window,
last bit.
right?
I just like missed my Q, but yeah, fair, makes sense.
Yeah, but our priority isn't trading with this guy. Our priority is getting our farm.
Yeah, fair.
If he gets to completely zone us off, he could have even just stood here and not thrown his Q, right? And zoned us off, made him hit us miss this minions. That would have been way bad. Yep, a little bit too much vertical movement. But victory is very easy to hit, so it's more on him to miss
Yeah.
than you to dodge. But
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to like make it harder. All right.
good dodge, never getting that minion.
Yeah, no, that was like a bad E,
A
but
lot of waste of mana here. So we have to
see
consider
if I
the
auto
value.
Q kills it, but
Right, but he's
does
zoning us. Right, it's not worth taking the damage to get those
yeah,
minions, so it's
no,
also
makes
not
sense.
worth at all. Right? How could
Yeah.
we have gotten those minions instead? Well, we had to use this one to get those melees, right? We could have maybe had our last Q flick onto those so that we would have been able to last at them, like with just an auto,
Yeah,
but
no,
it's
I
still
think what
hard.
we do here, yeah, just give
I
like
think the
that
bigger
those
problem comes
minions.
all the way back to here, right? In this instance, where this not hitting these minions here is causing us to miss these.
I'm just worried if I use Q on the minions or like walk up to auto them, or like walk up in Q, I guess. Like
Right, and that's why you
he's
have
like
to
not even
like.
pressuring me.
So yes, like he will, but the like as you climb higher, especially into masters, we need to like really get specific about these trading windows, right?
Yep.
So there's two ways to think about it. There's the, hey, I'm trying to create a trading window and I'm trying to deny their trading window. If you want to create trading windows and you want the lane to be more chaotic, then what you want to do is you want to mismatch when minions are dying as much as possible. Like, I had the emphasis on this way back from the beginning, because as soon as we come into this lane, I'm wanting these two minions to die at exactly the same time. So he has to make a decision between high out. Obviously, he doesn't have E right now, but he has to make a decision between high value Eing us to last at the minion at the same time, or he has to auto attack the minion. And if he just gets his Q on us, that's fine, right? But he's also doing multiple things at the same time, and it makes it very difficult for him to do that. Whereas we're not constantly like paying attention, matching auto for auto perfectly, like, and we're going to get traded on because of that. Because he has the minion advantage here, it's okay for us to throw a little bit damage at the minions. Like, I love how you'd be standing like more over here trying to auto these minions while he walks up here, right? So that you could actually match auto for auto and keep the wave kind of neutral. Because the second the wave starts to shove into you, he gets so many more like free quote unquote trading opportunities that he doesn't have to create himself, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, it makes sense.
Cool. So we end up missing these minions into the tower and throwing our E because he got the shove into us and we couldn't keep the wave neutral. Now that's really fucking hard to do. And
Yeah.
you aren't losing a whole lot for it. But it's those little things that I want to point out that matter as you climb.
I mean,
right?
makes sense, right?
Mm-hmm. Here again, this queue, we have the wrong mindset. We shouldn't be queuing him. We should be using our queue to get these minions here. I think you could get both these minions with an auto attack on this one and a Q, right? If you focused all your damage on the center one.
Yeah, for sure.
Because we're not going to beat this guy in lane. He is going to whittle us down over time. And he's getting these. Imagine if we'd, in this instance, right, if we would have thrown our Q at the minions instead, he never would have gotten this E as easily as he did. Right.
I
There's
mean, I
also
guess,
no
but
minion dying, so you don't have to walk
like
up.
but I also don't lose anything for landing the free Q. Is it like not just fine to do that? Let it stack up a little bit.
You do lose something. You lose this.
Oh yeah, I give him the free D, I guess. But, like, isn't it a trade? Because I hit the Q earlier, so he gets the E now. No.
It is, but is that good for us?
Yeah, I guess it's better to minimize like the amount of times you can both hit each other.
Let's say if you guys both got to level 9 and nothing happened, are you happy or are you sad?
Yeah, no, I'm happy. Yeah, it makes sense. So you want to minimize the amount of trading windows we both have.
Yep. We have to just give this minion.
Yeah, for sure.
You get that cannon for free because they died at the same time. Good leaning. Good. Get his flash. Shove out the wave. Reset. Get tier. Ooh. No refill here is so troll.
Okay, but like if I go, isn't boots better?
No,
Like
refill's
I could
better.
go boots pot. I don't know.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, you could go boots pot. If you go boots pot, that's fine. But you can't get boots and not buy potions. So the only way this works, you can do this. The only way this works though is you insta shove this and like base again. Right? You come out here while he's low resources, you insta shove this, you get your like 50 extra gold that you need to get refill, you base, you come back with refill. I do that with Galio all the time. Right? If I take TP. Or like Ari, I do that all the time. Where it's like, I'm going to greed this, but I'm going to come back with the intention of, I know this guy is greeding to get this next wave out, and he's low wave clear. I'm going to come back with my TP, shove this out before the next wave gets here, base, get my refill, come back. I'll lose tempo on the wave, but it's not like a Viktor, Oriana, Syndra, Hui are going to roam and make anything happen. Right?
Yeah.
If this were a Fizz, Katarina, etc., you're never fucking doing that because they're going to roam and screw you over.
True.
But
I
this
mean,
guy
if
is
it's
a
a
Victor.
Katarina, I'm dodging, but yeah, it makes sense. Yeah,
Sure.
no, that makes sense. That makes sense. Like the idea, the mindset makes sense, right?
Yeah, but like as soon as we come into this lane
Yeah,
with
no,
this
no
TP,
refills bad.
we need to be
Yeah.
instantly walking up and like using all of our abilities on this wave. Because imagine like we use all our abilities on this wave. If this guy hits us, right?
Yeah.
That's more his time wasting not getting his reset, which gives us
Yeah.
more time to actually get ours and match his tempo.
Makes sense.
But this didn't work before the TP change. But because the TP takes so much longer to get back to lane now, you could do stuff like this.
Okay, cool.
And now we're sitting on a cannon. He's going to come back,
Yeah, it's hard. Makes sense.
and this lane is going to be
Defend this match pretty
incredibly
hard.
hard.
Yeah, yeah. Refill
If
this
this was like not if Victor's E was
Victor.
harder to
Yeah.
hit, right? If this was like a Hui or something like that, where you could reasonably dodge his abilities, or like an Oriana where you could reasonably
Yeah.
dodge her abilities, I don't mind the no refill. Like if you think you can skill check him with the boots, fine. You know, that's a
Yeah.
decision that you can make, but you
It's
have to
just
play
like
very
the
well.
one matchup you like need a refill, and it's gonna be really hard, especially since I don't have like biscuits or anything
You
like
can
that.
never dodge these, right? If he plays it
Yeah.
right, it's so hard to dodge these, right?
Yeah, makes sense. Makes a lot of sense why it felt hard.
Like you could do better horizontal movement, but it's very linear. Like you're not jiggling at all. You're not making him stress to get it. Also, I don't know what we're scared of here, right? Like what's gonna happen in this lane? We have perfect vision on bot side. We have perfect vision on top side, right? We need to walk up and just like get this wave in, right? We need to be while his E's on cooldown, because the more we can force him to like react to waves, the less we're gonna do this. Because we're gonna sit here and we're gonna hit by another E, right? Well, this wave is neutral. We're gonna walk up, get hit by an E. Yep. Now imagine if back here instead, like as soon as he hits us with his E, cool, you know, not great, but happens. We just use our abilities immediately all on this wave while he's going for a last hit. If we do that, he's not going to have the time or the presence. He's going to be focused on getting his last hit. He's going to have to use his. He's not going to have the presence of mind to use his Q on us at the same time. And we're going to get this wave in, and we're not going to get hit by the next E.
Would you back after the wave theoretically, or would you just?
I would do this one or two times, and then I'd base and come back and do it again.
Cool. Yeah, makes sense.
But now he's made this lane heavy trading.
Yeah, you don't have to look at this. You don't have to look at the rest of this. You don't have to.
Yeah, I mean, we used all of our abilities, and then we just heavily
So,
disrespected
bro,
him.
you fucking missed. It would have been good. Whatever.
It wouldn't have been good though,
This
because we don't want this. We don't want the lane to be heavy trading.
No, I know, but it would have been better. But like, I get what you mean now. It's the wrong mindset.
Like I don't mind all this. If we're gonna flick him away from us, right?
Yeah, then the E doesn't hit though, so I don't know.
Right.
I
So
guess
you
I should have
can't.
just like, I guess, or I could have flicked him in, proc phasers, and like clicked away, not clicked. Yeah, but I get what you mean. I get the idea. Or like you
Mhm.
flick him down, and then you can still hit them with the Q without him being able to hit you.
Yeah.
Like it's like a free trading opportunity. It's bad for us. Don't look at this. Don't look at this. I'm like, okay, watch this. I'm gonna nuke the wave, and then I live with like 2 HP, and then I die.
Mhm.
It's so stupid, and it's so dumb. Yeah.
You know this doesn't
But yeah,
happen if we do some of what I was saying before, right?
yeah, no, it makes sense. I mean, it doesn't stem from the like, yeah, makes sense. I mean, you can stop here. Like, this is kind of all I wanted to look at. I don't get like solo killed again.
Because now we can play from range, and it's a lot more fine.
Yeah, yeah, it's chill.
Stopping. Yeah. We are losing prior to the guy because we gave him some advantage early. And this again, this is the same shit. Why are we giving him his win con? Like I guess Milio's here, right? We walk up a little bit too much though. Like
Yeah, makes
Milio,
sense.
I would ping this off because like Milio,
Yeah, what is he gonna do?
what is he gonna do? If Viego's with him, sure. But yeah. Anyways, See the idea of the trading windows thing I'm talking
I
about?
get the idea. Yeah, makes sense.
I'd really highly recommend watching the third advanced laning guide if you haven't watched it. I think it's the third one. Um, so Tim goes over in the first one like what is a trading window, and the second one is how to create them, and the third one is how to minimize and not allow them. Right. So I think watching that would be really helpful for lanes like this.
Fundamentals, yeah. I was actually thinking about learning Oriana because, like, basically just to improve laning, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't like all of laning that I'm like good at is just like
Yeah, the
I guess
forcing
field
them to
based and
react offenses
straightforward.
defense stuff.
Yeah, well, yeah, that stuff obviously, but like it's all like field based, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot. Obviously, I know like wave management I can do, but in terms of actual like how to create a training window, I'm fucking clueless because Taliyah does not teach
It,
that shit.
is this another lane one or?
Yeah, it's basically a lane one. I mean, it could be a threat assessment one because I think I like lose quote unquote by like dying to Hecarim, but like it doesn't happen till like I don't know. I feel like it just could have laned better. I guess I don't like get solo killed in lane. I don't think. Maybe I do. I don't remember. I think it's more threat assessment one. Also, like I want like I think this lane isn't that hard. Like it shouldn't be. Like if you look at the winner rate, like Taliyah is good into Vladimir. And like no one talks about this matchup being hard, but I swear
Yeah,
every fucking time I play versus this guy.
but so the thing I want to ask at the start of this, you said about threat assessment. So like when you're playing into something like Vladimir, like I think it's a lot more obvious what winning is against Viktor, right? Maybe
Yeah.
we didn't play to the mindset quite as much, but I think it's really important based on what I saw in the first one that we define what is winning in this matchup.
I mean, going even, no? It's like most Taliyah matchups because you can just outpush him inside. So he has like no fucking wave clear. So you just like get in a side lane and you just join more fights than he does. He has no TP.
Right.
Like, so going even is winning.
We can do more
Maybe I
than that in
run,
this
but I
matchup,
didn't.
though.
Sure.
Why can we do more in this matchup?
You have better wave clear and you outrange him, but I've looked at how, and maybe I'm wrong,
What?
but I always used to think that and it felt really hard. And then I looked at Odysseus playing the matchup, and he plays it with wave even. So I don't know.
Well, the other thing is, like you said, he doesn't have teleport, right? So we should,
Yeah.
at some point, if we have lane priority, right, and we tether him well enough, and we manage our threat assessment, we should be able to make him miss one wave at some point with good resets and wave management, right? So that's our goal. Our goal is to make him for every reset he has to take, he has to miss a wave. That's our goal. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Now, in terms of the threat assessment on this, I think this is a very low threat game. If
I
you
mean, from
look,
the support side makes sense. Yeah.
but you have a Yumi who's going to be attached to Mel for most of the early game. Yeah, she might
That's
get attached to Hecarim later, but that's not that big of a deal. Your laner has 0 CC,
zero CC. It's
right?
just
He
like
has
Hecarim on
Ghost,
its
which
own.
can run on you, but and he could dodge your flick, but you can slow him with your E, and you can walk away. You have Phase Rush. He has Phase Rush, but he should never be able to proc Phase Rush before you. So you should be able to get away from him in isolation. With Hecarim, Hecarim could do a lot, but if we have good warding and leaning, what's Hecarim going to do? He has no gap closer. His CC knocks us away unless our warding and leaning is poor enough that he's going to knock us back into it. A
Yeah.
top laner also is probably never going to leave. She
Yeah.
is
Sadly, no.
she's not a Malphite, not a Camille. So if you look at it, really the only thing we're worried about is this guy. This is the
Yep.
only threat to us at
Yeah.
all.
No, that makes sense. Yeah, I knew that coming into this game. Like, I understand that. Like, I don't think it's a particularly high threat game,
Mhm.
which is why I think it might be an issue with my threat system. It's like,
One big thing that I'm noticing right away is we are not autoing enough. Like,
so the reason I'm not like giga autoing the wave is
hmm,
because I'm trying to keep it neutral without like overshoving it. Because I've lost so many lanes to Vladimir by overshoving the wave.
okay,
So
why is shoving? How have you lost to shoving versus Vlad in previous games?
like, okay, so I know like obviously the like undershoving is bad because you give level 2 first, right? And that's bad. And typically what happens So I'm trying to remember. I don't have a VOD. I just have like trauma, if that makes sense. I just have like feel-based trauma of why I don't like really hard shoving. Like you use your Q on the wave, and then he just walks at you. I guess you can
Okay, so am I
take your
asking you
Q
to use your
cooldown.
Q on the wave?
No, you're just saying auto it more. But yeah,
Right.
okay, makes sense.
Is this a high threat game?
No,
Is pushing
not
bad for
especially now
us?
3-6.
Right? No.
No, it's good. Yeah, generically.
Right?
Yeah, actually
You have
makes
to get
sense.
specific on the details of who is in this game and what is good, right? So he is constantly autoing this off basically cooldown. Like he's missing a little bit, but you missed several autos in there. And because you missed several autos, what did we have to do?
User Q.
Right? Now, would that queue have been good regardless? Yes. But now it's back to like somewhat even, right? Because he's got this melee, all yours are full health, and his are kind of hurt, right? So we're somewhat even. So we feel incentivized to throw another Q, right? Now we've got it shoved into him. Now, if we were matching autos and used the first Q, maybe we could be hitting him with a Q a little bit earlier there while he's last hitting these three. And should we? Shouldn't we? I probably say we shouldn't unless we proc our mana flow. Because he's going to win the game through War of Attrition, right? If he stays high, he's winning. If he extends the lane, great, right? So we want to, because we're not going to heavily bully this guy, because we are also okay just scaling, we need to play the War of Attrition too. How do we most effectively play the War of Attrition? By maintaining our mana pool high so that no matter how the lane state gets, we will always have mana to be able to get a reset.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
So we only trade on him on this cooldown.
Yep, no, absolutely makes sense. Yep, this is
And because he can't manage the wave without at all, right? He can throw a Q on it every once in a while, but that's not going to do much more damage than an auto attack, right? All we have to do is auto it more than he does. Now, that's hard because we can miss minions because of that, right? Because I'm sure you've had the bad
yeah,
experience of, oh, I need to not auto to not miss this one, but it's always okay to start autoing the other ones.
yeah.
You need to figure out like how it's okay to auto the minions more
Yeah,
to get advantages in these matchups.
yeah. Like I know it's okay to queue here because he can't punch me for it, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it makes sense.
Right. Did we need to queue here?
I mean no, right? We don't.
No. We have the push.
But is it not okay to like get the wave in and just like buy space if that makes sense?
We have the wave
Or
in. We're pushing it into him, right? We're
hmm,
we why do we need to get the wave in? What does getting the wave in get us? What does it
yeah, I guess just
achieve?
yeah. I mean like making miss minions under turret is like my first thought, but
Yep. We have
we can't
no we
ward.
can't ward. We've already placed our
We're not
ward.
gonna base.
We're not gonna base. In fact, we're hurting us. We're forcing us to be able to base. To base, right?
Yeah,
He can literally just stand here, tank the minion wave, and just use his Q to sustain through our damage a lot of our damage. Why would we want to trade with this guy? Vladimir wants you to hit him. That's how he wins the lane. I've talked to Andrew before about like this matchup of Ari into Vladimir, and he says he's the happiest person in the world as the Vladimir when Ari is using abilities on him. He's the most frustrated when Ari is just using abilities on the wave and managing it so that he can't do anything. Maintaining the perfect wave state so that he can never trade onto him, denying trading windows, and just shoving it in at perfect times when he's going to get fucked and lose a wave if he bases because he doesn't have teleport. Remember what I said our mindset was when we came into this. Our goal is to make
yep,
him miss a wave or two.
yep, makes sense.
Only getting like super specific in this because at this level, I think you
I
have
mean,
to.
yeah, it's Master's Plus. No, it makes sense, right? I'm not like
Right?
upset about that.
All this little shit wouldn't matter nearly as much. But I'm just seeing that I think it's going to turn into a consequence, right? Because we've burned a quarter of our mana bar, and he's still full HP, and we've not gotten anything for it.
Ah, mana flow stacks, my friend. But yeah, no, I know what you mean. Because like oftentimes we weren't getting mana flow stacks, and that's the issue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I get it.
And we did miss a Q there, which is kind of why this got a little bit messy. Um, but it's not that bad. Yeah, so this is an instance here where it's like I would be less playing the mind game because here's another thing about trading windows and trading and whatnot. This guy is clearly walking at us to try and zone us from the minions, right? Because he wants to get a Q off.
Yep. Yeah,
right?
makes sense.
If we were to throw our Q right now, would our Q be back up by the time that this is going to die?
No.
Are you
I'm
sure with the
pretty
reduced
sure.
cooldown?
What? It's like 7. So it's 6. So it's like 3-second cooldown. So I think no.
I mean, if we did it like here or something like that.
If we did here, yeah, it would be up. Like if I throw it at him now, like the millisecond he's by the minion.
And we're having a hard time. So like right here, after we last hit this guy here, we're feeling a little bit stressed because we don't want to get hit by his Q because we know he's holding it for us.
Yep.
So I would throw a Q here. Because I know that I'm going to have my next Q up by the time I'm actually going to have to do anything, potentially. Now that might fuck with the minions and maybe force us to walk up for last hits or something like that. But I think missing this Q is like super bad because missing this Q like allows Vlad to just kind of walk up here and just trade with us.
Yeah.
Now here we would need to throw Qs at the wave, in my opinion, because the Vlad what's it called? The Vlad secured the push, which is not good. And then this is just slight spacing thing on his whatnot.
I mean, he uses pool to get past, and then he gets a slow off. Right? It's just like a
Right.
little too close.
We're just a little too close.
Yeah.
So as soon as this happens, my mindset is I'm looking for a reset.
Yeah. No, makes sense.
What I would very specifically do is I would let this minion wave, because it's coming into us, I would let it come into us potentially, and then I would hold a minion here and then shove it back out. Because if this, what's going to happen for him, right, is he's going to have to shove in the next two waves to crash, right? If we slowly thin this out so that we can hold one here and make it come so that like he has to base while the minion is like wave is here, we can hold the wave right here and then insta shove the next one out, trade all our HP for the wave, base and come back. And then he has the decision of actually taking his base or losing a wave. And we have to do that on a non-cannon wave. That's how we make him miss a wave.
Yeah, I just felt like
So I
it
like
didn't hold
this.
this.
The problem that I have with this is we didn't hold it outside of tower range.
Yeah, I mean, I was just scared too because he's like level 4. I know he doesn't have ignite, but I thought it would have been a really bad trade, and then I like can't. You know, like how can I like I
Maybe
don't
you
have
can.
W. I can't like flick it back. I think the idea is good, but like
So then we needed to thin it more before, I guess.
yeah, it's like
Or we needed to be hitting him here when it's free.
yeah.
But anyways.
I don't know.
We're not in the worst position though. We've gotten a
Yeah,
lot
it's
of
just
our farm. And this is the wave we need to insta shove.
yeah, insta shove this back 700 gold. Yep.
Right? Trade all of our mana, all of our HP for this wave. We flick the guys onto the back line, we queue it, last hit them. Who cares if we take, our HP down to 200? We see the Hecarim on bot side, right? We do all of that, we base, we come back, and then we've got tier, which allows us to throw Qs a lot more liberally. And we still should have our 2 potions. At worst case, we have one, if something crazy happens. He has to either make the decision to hold this wave or lose it in base and then not get a base. Right. So he has to make a decision there. We have to force him to make a decision on that. So we should have used all of our abilities on this wave or the next one. We can do it on the next one.
Yeah,
But I think we would have had to shove this a lot slower.
Doing...
If we were doing it
I
on
think
the
the
next
reason I
one,
wasn't hard shoving this really hard is because Kha'Zix is
Kha'Zix.
here. But
Yeah, well, we need to ping that
and he
off. We're
doesn't
never
do
killing
any. He
him.
doesn't ever do anything. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So the problem with doing it on this one is the one after this is a cannon.
So he loses less.
So he won't lose anything because he'd be basing on a cannon. We come back, we insta shove the next one. It takes us a lot longer to shove that, as well as once the cannon gets under tower, he loses a melee. Then the tower starts targeting the cannon minion, and he loses a melee. If we would have done it back here and shoved this one, he would have had to make the choice of between losing this minion wave or losing the next minion wave. He has to lose a minion wave, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't have a choice. He's a victim. But we did it this way. And now, because of this, he gets to like kind of sit here and actually get that one in because we did it on a bad timer as well. Like we took too long to get this one in. And remember exactly what I said before? How I said I wanted the wave right here when you force him to reset? Look what's happened to you. You're at this no mana, useless cannon minion Taliyah in the lane, needing a reset while a cannon minion wave is about to pop up, and you're stuck in lane. You've been trapped in lane, all because you didn't push that one wave.
Yeah.
Now we push this one, and now here's a situation where we know, yes, sometimes it's good to just like let the minion wave sit, right? To make him lose the most. But what I would have done in this situation is I would have insta shoved this one, and I would have gone and gotten a deep ward.
Yep, fair enough.
I don't think your decision's bad because we do make him lose 2 melees for it in experience and 1 in gold because it couldn't get back to last hit that one in time. But yeah, now we've got this shoving into him, and we've got to commit to hard shoving this next one. Yeah, Vlad loves this, by the way. Vlad loves that you just hit him.
But if I use resources on the wave, doesn't he just like walk at me and like?
Yes. Yes.
So how do I get the wave in?
You just trade your HP for the wave, and then you reset and you come back.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
Like, imagine if you were like super. If you were so, I just want to show you the picture. If you're super decisive right now, that I'm gonna insta shove trade all my HP for this wave.
Mm-hmm.
Could you agree that he's not going to one shot us from 100?
Without ignite and without all, yeah, he can.
Right. So we insta burst this entire wave. We tank all of our HP down to a third for it, right? This hasn't even spawned yet, right? So he's going to hold this wave here for forever, tanking a wave and a half worth of damage while he's using his Q to heal up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to be, maybe he's going to take a third of his HP, maybe, if he wants to hold it, right? And then we come back, like if we had committed to it and used that Q on the wave, walked over, WEQ'd the minion wave, we'd be walking back to the turret about now, and we'd be resetting now. And he'd be having to sit here and hold this for at least 10 seconds before it gets to his tower. Right? That means we based, and then we can walk out on the next one, and then we can shove him in on this next one. Yeah, maybe we lose a melee if he really hard commits to just freezing it. Yeah, maybe we lose 2 melees, maybe. But what does that get us? That gets us a roam timer. That gets us to use our R on bot lane. That gets us to get grubs. We have permanent prio for grubs when that's coming up. We have prio for dragon on that. So we've traded our HP, maybe lost a melee for literally whatever the fuck we want to do on the map.
Okay.
And if he doesn't want to do that, if he wants to just like insta burst that wave and take a reset himself, then we can shove in the next wave anyways and still get that. How you beat Vlad is you just put all of your abilities on the wave, trade HP for it once, get a tempo over him, shove in the next wave that he freezes, and then do something on the map and repeat. That make sense?
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
But now we've used half our mana on the wave and are just kind of sitting here.
Yeah,
and now he has kill threat on us, right?
Yep.
Now, if we do that to a wave, he's going to kill us.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets move over. He gets move over to Grubs because of this. A Vladimir has wave control over Taliyah. That's crazy, right?
No, champs just OP, Zach. Yeah, but no, it makes sense.
Do you understand how we could have prevented that?
Yeah. Just bad resets, I guess. Well, I mean, early on, bad like ability.
We just had the wrong intention with our ability usage.
Yeah, I was going to say it's more like mindset than ability usage, and it's like
it's not. We hit our abilities for the most part. We missed like one Q, and it wasn't that bad. But our intention was wrong.
Yep.
Right, and we ended up losing.
We lose 2 minions. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bad then.
And now we die to the Hecarim.
This is just threat. Yeah,
and
this
it's
is
really
just
hard.
threat assessment. I'm like, oh, because I'm top side, it's okay. But he's like,
we see
like,
him,
not having
and we need to walk away
enough, and I need to get this in. Yeah, no, makes sense. It's just like dumb threat assessment stuff because he's at like Mach 35.
All right, does that make sense? Was there anything else in this that you wanted to cover?
No, that makes sense. Yeah, makes sense.
So, yeah, I think we really need to focus on those trading windows, and because he's doing the same thing that we should have been doing the last one. He's like minimizing trading windows, and really focusing on that, and you just aren't as much as everyone else is in this elo. And then you're a little bit sloppy with your wave management into these like champions that you just need to be shoving trading for wave and resetting.
Yeah. All the people who play shit like Vladimir are so hyper focused on getting through lane. I find that like if I don't end up doing exactly this, which is obviously bad, right? I just shit on them mid game because either their mid game is bad or my champ's just more useful mid game, which I think both can be true. But yeah, the idea makes sense. The mindset.
Cool.
Of not hitting Vlad, using shit on the wave. It's just hard, but yeah, makes sense. Thank you.
Yep. Anytime.